Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Oh, hello. We are here today with Tanya Quinn with the Social Good Navigator. How are you doing today, Tanya?
I'm great, Melissa. How are you? Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah. So we have known you for a few years now, and we love that you are a part of Network Build Grow. And you have been an integral part of us creating our reach out, our social good that we do with Network Build Grow. But let's first start with a little bit about what you do with your business. So tell us a little bit about your business, but most importantly, why you love it.
Well, thank you for that call out for helping you guys with Network Build Grow. I'm very honored to be a member of that and to be invited to participate at the leadership level. I run Small Actions, Greater Good, and it is a business that I created after years of being very passionate about doing good, both through a corporate environment, nonprofit, and things I was doing on my own. And I stepped into the small business world as a small business owner, and I realized that all of these resources that I'd had at my fingertips, both as a corporate employee and as a nonprofit, I didn't have as a small business owner. So I went reaching to find how I could do good through my small business. And I couldn't find the resources. I couldn't find the things that made it easier and simple. So I realized that that was a gap that I wanted to fill. And I created Small Actions, Greater Good to make it easier and simpler, but more effective and more clear for small business owners to do good through their business that not only contributes to society, but also helps their business grow through marketing, through employees, through clients, through everything like that.
Yeah, without feeling icky, because I know that's a lot of them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, without feeling icky, without being guilty about what you say or how you say it, really leaning into the true intention behind why you want to do good and how to make it feel great and be something you just want to shout from the rooftop, so to speak.
Yeah. And I know that from talking to you and working with you on several things, a lot of it starts with, big surprise, relationship building and having relationships with people in your community. So tell me a little bit about how small business owners can really forge those relationships with maybe nonprofits or other community-minded people.
Absolutely. For me, the way that I work with my clients and the way that I approach small business myself is that it is, just like you said, 100% about relationships. And it's approaching relationships from a mutually beneficial approach where you're looking at not only what you can give to the community, but what that community also needs. Mm-hmm. A lot of small business owners can approach stuff and they have something in their mind about what they want to do. But particularly when working with a nonprofit, you got to understand what they need. How is it that you can both provide value to each other that helps increase awareness of the nonprofit? It drives brand awareness of your business. It's all about strong relationships, really understanding what everybody needs and can offer and is comfortable giving.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so now let's switch to you and your business and how you grow your business. So that's a lot about your business, but how do you personally grow your business with networking?
Again, your relationships are key. It's truly understanding the person that you're talking to. What is it they want to do? When it comes to small actions and social responsibility, it's even more of a personal relationship, a personal feel for people. When small business owners want to do good, 90% of the time, it's because they have this internal drive. They want to make the world a better place. They want to change things around them. They want to better connect with their clients and customers. They have grandchildren that they want to build the business for. So it is most of the time, a truly personal reason. Mm-hmm. So when I am talking to potential clients or I'm speaking to an audience, I'm really leaning into, how do you feel? What is it that is personally motivating you, interesting you in doing good? Because it's that personal connection that you build with networking first, and then relationships to help them build that social responsibility into their business. It's 100% about their motivations and their drive and their interests.
So really you dive into kind of what legacy do they want to leave? almost.
That's very true. Legacy is a big thing. A lot of people do want legacy. So there's so many different ways that people can do good. They could be really interested in the community. So then it's understanding what community and how they want to do it. There's people that want to do good when it comes to environmental. They have a very strong drive. So you're looking at that aspect. I've worked with a client before who didn't even think they were socially responsible, but it turns out that they have this huge passion for their employees and they for all of these benefits that they just did. They did because it felt good and it felt right. But in reality, they were going well above and beyond what they needed to do. So it's really, truly learning about what motivates them and what they want to do most.
I love that. Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into how you network. So you're involved with Network Build Grow. Are you also involved in some other networking groups? And is your philosophy to go deep or wide?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm actually just with Network Build Grow at the moment.
Okay.
I did start with quite a few here in Charlotte, where I'm based. I kind of did the go wide, get to know people. And what I found was that I wanted to really end up deep in a relationship with a group of people that I felt strongly connected with, that I knew I could get to know, that we could develop longer term relationships, that we could truly refer to each other by the fact that we knew each other's businesses so well. I love the fact that we bring in new business owners, but I still see a lot of the same faces. I tried a lot of the others and I just didn't have the same connection. From Network Build Grow, it's more the opportunities that you provide, and the timing also is huge for me. I have a 9-year-old daughter, so I love the ability to be flexible with her schedule, and that's one of the biggest things that Network
The
Build
early
Grow
morning
has offered.
coffees don't work for you.
No, the early morning coffees don't work for me, and the happy hours don't usually either.
Yeah, no, me either. And it's not because I have young children; it's because I don't get up that early. So I love that. Okay, so going deep inside a couple of groups, or one group in your case, is really important. But I'm sure you're also involved in other types of networking, what I call social networking groups. Are you involved in like your daughter's school or some other aspects that you still are networking?
Yes, that's a good point. Sometimes I don't give those enough credibility. Yes, I'm actually very actively involved in my daughter's school. I do a lot of charity events or fundraising events for the school itself. I am part of a couple of online communities that are deeply connected to the social responsibility and the social good aspect. I also have a business partner that I work with, and we do networking through a couple of business associations that he is part of. So yes, I do have other networking opportunities that I more of a high level approach to it. And then MBG as well.
NVG is the one that you really dive deep in.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that, because you actually own two businesses. So you have the other one that your business partner helps you with as well.
Yes.
I love that. All right. Well, let's do a little bit of kind of rapid fire answers. Okay. The first one that I love to ask everybody is, what is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're networking?
Going in with a checklist, going in with an expectation of what you want to get out of it, because then it's all about you. So I like to go in being open and willing to make as many connections as really work, but not have like my expectations in mind, because it's about the dual relationship.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. What's your kind of go-to follow-up? What do you like to do for your follow-up?
I send an email, usually within a couple of days afterwards, just thanking them or for getting to know them. I try to remember something that was a really good connection. Usually there's something that I remember very specifically about that person. And then I like to offer help. I like to just find out, where we might have connections in common. Is there something somebody else I could introduce them to, and just develop a relationship as if I was sitting across a cup of coffee. That's kind of how I approach everything, is just sitting across from a friend over a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily try to have a cup of coffee with every single person.
No, I don't. I'd love to, but with given schedules and everything else, I don't. I try and connect digitally first. I love Zoom connections if it works. I do absolutely love a cup of coffee, but I can't do it all the time. I try to as often as I can.
So how do you determine kind of which people maybe warrant that cup of coffee down the road?
It's connection with me.
Okay.
It's honestly the people that, respond back in a timely manner, the people that remember something about me as well, that where we recognize that there is a connection where we can support each other, where we can
Mhm.
become, business friends kind of, or not friends is a loose term, colleagues where we know we can help each other forward in some manner. Those are the people that I usually move forward with more of an
Yeah.
in-person relationship with.
So not necessarily a client prospect and not even necessarily a referral partner, just someone who you feel like is willing to take the time to get to know you and your business so they have you top of mind. Should the need
Yes.
come up? Should it come up?
Yes.
Something.
I don't go into it. I don't go into it looking for a client at all. That's actually perhaps I should do that more, but that's not how my brain approaches it. I'm looking for a real connection with somebody that I know we can mutually support each other as we move forward in our businesses in whatever manner that looks like.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, great. All right. So just give me your gut feeling on when somebody says, tell me your elevator pitch. What's your gut feeling on that?
My gut feeling is I honestly flinch for a second. Um, it's hard when somebody says telling me your elevator speech. My brain kind of steps back and feels like I need to formally consider how I say something. So it's just kind of it's a button for me where I have to stop and I feel like I have to put myself into this more professional mode or something. Normally I'm much more casual about it. So I don't think I've ever said to somebody, tell me your elevator speech. I usually just say, tell me about your business. What brought you here? What inspired you to start your business? I really like understanding people's origin stories. Just because I think mine is very personal to why I started my business. So it gives me a good feeling for how other people started their business and why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun to ask people their origin story. One of my favorite questions, instead of "So, what do you do?" I hate that question. Is to ask people like, "Hey, what do you love about your business? What do you
Yeah.
love about it?" So tell us Tanya, what do you love about your business?
What I love about my business is the ability for people to really see how much impact they can make, and even more so, how much impact they're probably already making. I
Yeah.
very rarely find a small business owner who isn't doing something socially good already.
Really?
Most of
That's
the time,
great.
yeah, rarely. And most of the time they don't see it, they don't realize it. So being able to have that kind of exploratory conversation to find one or two things that they're doing and really be able to lean into it. And so this is great. Like, let's emphasize this. Let's make it more intentional. Let's make people more aware of what you're doing. It's that exploration and creativity that is my favorite thing working with business owners.
That's great. Okay, now what do you love about networking?
What do I love about networking? I'm actually a little hard with networking. I'll be very honest on this. Networking is a
Okay.
little hard for
Good.
me.
That's
We'll go
good.
honest here.
I love
Um,
it.
Yeah, I'm as likely to step behind the table and ask somebody how I can help them to organize it as I am to actually network. So it's something that I constantly work on. My favorite thing about networking is really getting into more deep conversations. I have a hard time when it's real superficial. But when it's a networking opportunity where there is a prompt that allows me to have a conversation that I don't get stuck on, and then gives time where you can really sit down and get to know the person. That's what I like. The kind of speed networking that people do, I am not comfortable with. I like the opportunity to really get to know somebody more than just a 10-second introduce yourself, hand a business card, and next.
Yeah, that's
That
probably why
situation
you
makes me
like
extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's probably why you like Network Build Grow, because we always give a prompt.
Yes, I am much more comfortable with the initial prompt and then the ability to sit down afterwards and have the relationship conversations.
If you network for your business, you already know follow-up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing. Most of us want to follow up well. We just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use NetEffect.io. It makes follow-up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow-up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, NetEffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. NetEffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow-up. Okay, so you talked a little bit about how within about 48 hours after an event, you try to connect with everybody that you connect with. Either email is your kind of go-to. You probably reach out on social media. How do you
Mhm.
track that? How do you track it, and what do you do kind of next after that?
Well, I am learning to get better at tracking stuff. Right now, I use a software called Nimble that helps me just kind of keep contacts straight and put in dates to follow up. It's been an ongoing struggle, honestly, finding a tool that allows me to do it without feeling like I'm responsible or not responsible. I can't think of the right term. That I'm beholden on that tool is a balance for me to find.
Yeah, I love that. What is your second thing that you do? So you send an email. Let's take the path of least resistance. Let's assume that they responded back. What's
Mhm.
the next thing that you do?
It kind of depends upon the relationship again. Very often it's, is there anything that I can offer you? Is there any way we can connect? I usually do a Zoom call if someone's available. If they happen to live close to me in the area of town I'm at, I will say, let's get together for coffee. Very often I use MBG. I'm going to be at this event in 3 weeks. Do you have the opportunity? Maybe we can sit down before or afterwards to talk. I've done that multiple times because
That's
then
a good idea. You're already
you
there.
already have a reason to get together. Yeah, you're already there. You have a very similar approach most of the time as the other people in the room. So it's a nice way to get together.
Mhm.
And then usually it's just staying in touch with relationships. Social media, I try to. I'm mainly on LinkedIn. I don't do many of the other platforms right now, but just staying in
Gotcha.
touch with people.
Okay, so then the other side is they don't respond. So then what do you do?
For those ones, usually I'll connect over social media again and shoot maybe a message over LinkedIn. Hey, it was nice to meet you this event. I sent you a quick email. I just wanted to connect with you here. Looking forward to seeing you at another event. When it's through an MBG, it's easier for me because I will likely see them at another event, so I can go up and be personable and say hi. When I'm doing different things online, I've met people through conferences, like virtual conferences that I've attended. An email, I'll do a LinkedIn, and occasionally I'll send another email like a month later and just, reaching back in, was wondering if there's anything that we can do to connect or if there's anything I can do to help or something like that. But after that, I tend to kind of let it go because they're either too busy or didn't have the same connection that I did.
Yeah, well, I wrote an article, I don't know, it was a couple of Halloweens ago about raising those dead connections from the graveyard, and
I
and
probably
it's
should look that one up again.
yeah, it's hard, but sometimes it can be really fruitful, to not just
That's a
let
good
them
idea.
go away, even though it's just a couple of times. Okay. All right. So one other really quick, just last thing. When you have a casual conversation with somebody and you have that connection and you've reached out and they connected back and you maybe had another connection, you saw them at another event, how did you kind of eventually turn that friendly conversation into a possible maybe conversation about either a referral or, hey, let me tell you a little bit more about my business. I think it would be a great opportunity for you. And I
As
know
a referral,
it depends on the relationship, but
it
just
really
in general.
does. It really does. From a referral standpoint, that one is usually pretty easy for me because during that conversation, if something comes up, some need comes up. So I'm real easy or it's easy for me to write that down and say, hey, I think I can connect you with somebody. Um, with my business, I find it a little bit harder sometimes. One of the things about social responsibility is that it seems like most people consider it a nice to have. It's something that they want to do, they can do, but they consider it more optional. So for
Mhm.
me, a lot of the conversations I have with people is making them aware that doing good is a business benefit. It is a business choice and it should be treated just like any other business choice or business decision that you have. So
Mhm.
for me, it takes a little bit to get people to kind of come around to that thinking, yes, this is something you're doing good. And I really think I can help you do more good, do better good in a clearer way. But I often need to emphasize a lot more the business benefits. That way it becomes something that they want to do, not something they just choose to do when they have time. So for me, it's a little bit of a longer process because there's some educational components that I have to put in.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I have some articles and some resources that I like to send that are just kind of more awareness building so that
Mhm.
they can understand the value of it.
Gotcha. Now, a little birdie told me that you actually have a book that is being worked on and edited right now. Do you have any idea when that might be coming out as a resource for people?
Wow, that little birdie definitely caught me off guard on that one. That little birdie is definitely correct. I do. Clearly Good. It's about learning to do social responsibility with intention and alignment. And it is in final edits. I am hoping it will be out by Q4 at the absolute latest this year. I'm working with a designer soon to work on a cover who happens to be in our group. So shout out for, networking. But yeah, I'm excited to get it out. It's been a very long process coming, and I can't wait to have it done. Thank you.
Well, as someone who got to read the manuscript prior to publication,
10 times who's the little birdie?
Everybody, that is fabulous, and it's going to help a lot of business owners understand how to do good better. So I'm really excited for that to come out. So thank you for being with us today, Tanya. And she is on our leadership team. She helps us with our Give nonprofit initiative. She helps with Give and Gather, which is where we bring small businesses and nonprofits together on a quarterly basis to show them how to partner. And we're really excited that she's helping us with those initiatives. So thanks for being with us today, Tanya.
Thank you, Melissa. This was fun. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.